Alright, y'all, just walked out of, where the f am I? Out of Ace, bought 2 ratchet straps. We got some pretty raggedy shit going on today, and you guys are probably gonna get a kick out of it, so let's go see the truck. Well, when you plan to restore a truck and you know you don't have a shop, half of the right tools, no help, this is what it comes to. Y'all can see today from the title and thumbnail, we're jumping into the rockers and cab corners of this truck. In order to do those, the door has to come off. We have 6 bolts we have to take out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to hold the door while taking these bolts out. So my theory, it's not gonna go as planned, I can tell you that, but as long as something can catch and hold the weight of the door, I'm happy with it. Y'all can see we have 2 ratchet straps hanging off of a barn that probably can't even hold its own weight. I'm gonna take these bolts out, hopefully the door's just kinda gonna dangle. I can swing it around, put it behind the pole, and then whenever we get to putting the door back on, I can just swing it right back around. And if it can just kind of hold the weight by itself and I can just adjust it with my leg down here and then tighten it up, we should be okay. But guys, I'm excited. The rockers and the cab corners is a big part of this truck that needs to get done. So once we get all 4 of those done, it's just the 2 rear fender wells, and then guys, we're off to doing some grinding, some sanding, some body work, and then we will be in the shop. But for right now, this is what I have to work with. So with that being said, let's swing this door off. You guys see what we're working with now. Here's a replacement rocker. I do believe this inner rocker is salvageable. It might be okay. I do have the replacement just in case, but we won't know until we cut it out. I just need to focus and do my thing, and I just need y'all to watch and enjoy. So let's get to work. Alright y'all, so it's the next day. The video started off pretty much me saying how didn't have any help, didn't have a shop to work in the door. Johnny, by the way, still, it's actually not getting wet. It's just hanging out there. So the door's still out there. It is what it is. Johnny wound up coming by yesterday because we had a little bit of an issue. You guys don't know Johnny. He came and did the Tahoe tuning with me. I had him come out, and after you saw the clip of me cutting this rocker out, kind of hit an issue of thinking that this rocker was, it's for sure not the same one that's in the truck right now, the inner rocker. So looking at my rocker, for sure, it was not the same. I grabbed mine that I ordered just in case, because I thought the inner rocker on this side was going to be okay. I know that one's going to be pretty bad off once I got cutting into it. I don't have much of an inner rocker left. It's about hanging on by a couple little pieces of metal. So I was looking at it for sure. This is not the rocker for my year model. I don't know what I did. I'm terrible at ordering things. But I had Johnny come by and he was looking at it, and he honestly thinks for what we have to work with, past just doing the inner rocker, we have a little bit more surface area we have to wind up covering because it kind of ate into the bottom where the floor rounds over. The actual rocker made for this truck, you guys will see, it's we're gonna have to do a lot more work, even though it's the right one. But for the conditions that we're facing right now, we're gonna have to do more work. But like I said, the rockers that I have that are wrong actually might save us a little bit of time. So we're gonna try to use them. It was Johnny's only day to help. He offered to come out here with me, so I appreciate it, man. And it's gonna be raining all day today, you guys can see right now. So we wound up coming in here, cleared out a spot a little bit earlier. So now the truck is indoors. We have a good surface to kind of work with. Lighting's not the best, but I got a little construction light back here. It actually puts off a lot of heat too, but we can see everything that we gotta work on today. Pretty much it's just gonna be a time lapse from this point on because we got a lot of work coming to us. Hopefully just by today we can get this inner rocker and then the outer rocker and probably call it good, maybe even the cab corner, but we'll see how far we get. But with that being said, y'all, let's get to work. I don't even know what day it is. We've been grinding on this truck, getting as much as we can done. Yesterday, it took like 7 hours, guys, just to get this inner rocker in. It's just, this stuff, it takes a lot of work. That's why I'm just kind of jumping steps. I want to show you guys the action, but to get to the action, it takes 7 hours to get to the prep. So it's just a lot of work. What we got going on yesterday is we got the inner rocker set, kind of messed around a little bit with the outer rocker, but that's what I've been doing today, guys, is just pulling it out, cutting it, fitting it in, blah, blah, blah. Just all the prep work. 90% of this is prep work, because if you get to welding and you got to do more time trying to make it fit because you screwed something up, it's got to go in stages to make it look right. So that's what I did today. I went ahead and just prepped all the surface, got everything kind of grinded down so we can have a good surface area for the welds. Got my body clamp set in stone so we have a flush finish to the old existing metal. What we're going to jump into, I just want to show you guys what it looked like to now. Jump to the driver door and just show you. Good Lord, dude, it is rough. That's kind of what we've been working with on that side. It looked the same exact way once we pulled the outer rocker off. We had all the inner rocker that was terrible, and then we just have nothing but blank right here. 2 days of work, that is what we're looking at right now. You can see the inner rocker all back there has this perfect cuts. That's not even supposed to be there, guys. We fabricated this whole entire thing to make this work. It's looking great. Y'all can see the flush for the outer rocker come all the way down. Same thing over here. If you go to weld these, we're tightened up. I'm just kind of holding it so you guys can get an idea. With that being said, let's get to weld. Alright, it's hard to keep track at this point. We got the door back on it. The rocker fit perfectly. I went through yesterday, I got all those welds done. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. Now I want to do it in order. Like, this is kind of done right now, so I could start doing my body work, and I'm honestly gonna probably plan on doing that, or at least once I get both sides, then I'll jump it just so it's not nothing but Bondo at the very end. But guys, she's looking good. I already sprayed some black paint over it just so we wouldn't cause any rust in the welds when they were being finished. So let me show you what we got. That's nice right there. It is looking pretty good. Lighting's a little hard in this shop. The door's closed today because it's about cold as hell, but make it a little better. That's that side. That's what we're looking like over there. It looks good. I'm happy. I kind of wanted to get it to the point where you can see that there was welds there at one point, but most people would just throw some paint over that and be ready to rock and roll. So I try to get it to that point where body work is less and it won't be as much work, but very happy with it. That's what she's looking like with the door closed. Kind of getting to the point where I want to remove the bed, that side, inner, outer, and cab corner. We're gonna have to use, I'm trying to explain this to y'all, we're gonna have to use more of the rocker because it's completely bad. So imagine from where it starts to where it stops, it needs to get erased, except like 1 inch on each side. So on this side, we had like 7 inches on both sides. The rocker and the cab corner kind of meet together right here, and because they're both kind of meeting together bad, it's gonna have to get done in order. I'm gonna have to cut the cab corner and the outer rocker, fit those together. I'm not gonna have anything to kind of go off of in between that's existing on the truck right now. So the bed's kind of got to come off to start on the next step. I can start cutting it out. We might even start doing that. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get 6 of these bolts out of this bed right now. And even possibly, we're gonna use this tractor right here. Oh yeah. It can lift 1,000 pounds. I don't see this bed being that much, so I'll show you guys how we're gonna construct that. But the hell is running on the roof? I'm gonna pull the bumper off and then hopefully back all these bolts out. Maybe, just maybe, I don't have a lot of room to do it, but I might be able to slide the bed back like a couple inches. I'm really gonna need at least a foot to replace the driver's side gas tank. We have to restore the whole entire frame, so that would be a video by itself, us pulling all that off. But for today, I just kind of want to see what I'm working with the cab corners, start moving on to the next section of this truck. You won't be able to see me underneath there working. I might just leave you guys running and just watch me do my thing. Alright y'all, see we're in the truck. It's another day out here. We are actually going to run around and do some errands real quick. I got to grab some supplies I want to bring out to the shop today. We last left off, I was pulling the bed off while I was taking the bolts out for the bed and the rear bumper. And that's what we're going to tackle today. Anything that involves me taking off on this truck, guys, is like, okay, if it's an hour job, go ahead and just knock it up to 3. Everything is so... the truck's not rusty, but just the bolts are old, guys, so they're a little corroded with like surface rust, and they just become a pain in the butt to take off. So in the stage we're at right now, where I'm starting to kind of prep and like pull stuff off, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. We're gonna go out there, see the truck. I'm gonna show you guys how to prep bolts and like kind of get them ready and get them looking brand new for when you put them back in, because I'm not gonna restore a bed and put all this time and then have a rusty ass bolt right on top of it. So I'm gonna show you guys what I use. It's a great way to clean things, and that's what we got to go buy. So see you guys at the shop. So we just made that here to the shop. I want to show you guys what I picked up at the store, and that is white vinegar and baking soda. I'll be shocked what these two can do together. So just for an example, the front bumper, pretty much all the bolts that are coming off of this truck, I don't want it to go back on rusty. Little stuff like this, while I'm in between doing something with the truck, I'll go ahead and let these soak. From like the little Chinese restaurant, the soup and stuff comes in here. These are great containers. I always save them. For example, that's what the bed bolts are looking like. They're not terrible. They can be thrown right back in, but actually, yeah, this one's pretty bad. There's tons of corrosion on it and rust. Drop all of these in. Get your white vinegar. This stuff is like 79 cents, y'all, at the store. Go ahead and toss that in. Close this joker up. Give it a nice shake. And just let that sit for like a day. One day, you'll start to see that all of it starts to kind of flake and fall to the bottom. It's already starting to do it because I shook it up a little bit. After one day, go ahead and pour some baking soda in here and then start scrubbing it. All this thing, they'll be back silver as they can be. Make sure you label everything. That's why I brought a couple different containers. I'll label everything around, but yeah, let's set this off to the side. That's a little hack. When you guys see I'm starting to put everything back together and all these bolts look brand new, they're the same bolts stock with the old 79. I just did a really good job in cleaning them up and used some products to help me out. The camera was dying really bad yesterday, but that is the rear bumper, so I got that off, and then all of the bed bolts are out. We already talked about that. The next video, this will be coming off. I just want to show y'all, like, I mean, it's heavy, it's manageable, and I think like 3 people could do it, but the only issue is you kind of have to lift over the tire when you're taking off a bed, and that's where you start losing all your strength once you come up here. So I have an idea how we're going to rig this up, so the next video is going to be pretty exciting, because this puppy's coming off. We're going to go ahead and restore the frame. We're tackling the cab corners. We'll do the inner and outer rocker, and then this will be off the truck. I'm not sure where we're going to put it yet, but once we're done with that, we can tackle our 2 rear fenders, and then from that point on, guys, there's just a couple small little tedious spots that I might be able to just fill in with the welder. If not, I'm just gonna start patching little pieces around the truck. But yeah, once we're done with that, we can start sanding and moving on to bigger and better things for this truck. But we have a lot of rust, so there's just a lot of stuff we have to do to it. I like how I say we. I always say we. It's I. There's a lot of stuff that I got to do to it. If y'all have any ideas for this truck, like I said, I'm always planning like 6 months ahead, so I'm trying to get things scheduled that we can start doing to the truck when the time comes. It's all ready to rock and roll, but trying to do a lot of custom stuff inside this truck. And we've got some cool things on the outside too that I got planned. Any ideas for this K-10? You guys are part of this build with me, so go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. What you think I should do? We'll do an update on that vinegar to see where those are at in probably the next video, because by then they should be pretty clean. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate you watching. Until next time, Linton Bass TV.